Yes guys, track breakdown time. Today we're going to look into mine and Chester's track called Last Day. This is coming out on Dantsu Discs at the end of May. Very proud to be doing it with those guys. Amazing label, and this track holds great memories for me. This was the last day of a week-long session with Chester, and turned out that the last track was one of the best tracks. So let's dive into it. So as always, we've got a solid 4/4 kick drum, and I always keep these at the top of my projects just for clarity and organisation. So we've got the side chain, mimicking the pattern of the kick. And then we've got this wicked bass line that Chester programmed, super funky, super complex bass pattern. Now the sound source is actually just coming from a one-shot bass sample. But you'll see a lot of the work is being done by the pattern itself. Very cool, intricate pattern. Now underneath, we've got some top drums, layers of drums. On the group itself, there isn't actually that much processing. The sounds themselves were nice and crispy already, so we didn't have to touch them too much, but a little bit of glue compression and some EQ just to sit them in the mix. And I'll break down what we've got. We've got a couple of claps, straight down the middle of the mix, no panning. Then we've got a breakbeat which sits right at the top. All of the EQ has been curved out the bottom. So that just gives us the high frequencies. And same with the tambourine. Two tambourines actually, just giving it a bit of sparkle at the top. A couple more top loops just to fill it out. Shaker. And all this stuff is very high frequency, so that leaves space in the middle of the drums for this nice tonal hi-hat. Okay, now there was a little layer here which I didn't show you, but it's essentially a little brass stab, 80s stab, just gives it a nice vibe. And then underneath, we have a lot of different vocal samples hitting all at different times. So this helps the track move forward, I think. I'll start to solo some of these in. Got the crash as well. So lots of different samples all hitting at their own time, and it gives it this nice movement and helps to push the track forward. Okay, and underneath we've got classic high string, and this helps us to progress into some of the more musical elements of the track. Moving into one of my favourite parts, which is the organ. And again, okay, we'll give the bit of reverb on there. On the sends, we've got some reverbs and delays. Nothing too fancy, but helps to glue the track together. Yeah, the sound source for the organ is just a snippet from a little loop. And then obviously we've created our own pattern to suit the track. And also similarly, we've got a nice electric piano. Now when I'm coming up with these kind of chords, I'll find out the key of the track and just figure out what chords work with it, you know, and play around with some minor chords, different inversions. And that's exactly how that sound came around. So found that nice inversion. And everything starts to fit nicely together. So we do have another organ layer down here, which I'll solo now. There we go. Then we got this sharp stab. This track is a combination of lots of small elements that build up, and in addition to each other, they all combine to make this groove. Okay, then after this we have some diva, which again, a chord that I just figured out on here. And I feel like we actually have, yeah we do, we've got a seventh on there as well. So we are playing a chord in the MIDI pattern, but we're also adding a seventh to it with the MIDI chord trigger. Okay, and then another musical element which helps just define this track, to be honest, is this sample. Which again, not too much processing, bit of EQ, bit of sidechain and low pass filter at times. And then we've got this disco-y thing. Then there is actually a variation of that disco sample as well. The rest of the stuff is pretty simple, you know, it's like 909 snare roll, some white noise, little lifters and stuff. So essentially guys, there's the track. This is everything playing together now. So as always, with a lot of my projects and a lot of house music projects, and as the sample in the third track on this says, Underground Ways, this is simple music designed to get people moving. So it's nothing fancy, the project is quite simple. It's all about sound selection, arrangement, simple mix, and there we have it. Something that I've played many, many times since making it. Something that Sidney Charles has played, Prunk, Kelly Allen. We've had a lot of support on this one, so very excited for the release. Hope you've enjoyed looking into the project, and until next time, peace.